So hey guys, welcome to a new video series on PrepBites channel. So today we have with us Ash Goel, who is a senior software engineer at Samsung. He also got a full-time offer from Lowe's India. He's ex-CodeChef educator, ex-ISRO intern, ex-data science intern at BitCrit. He got 33K plus subs on YouTube. He has 53,000 followers on LinkedIn. He's also recently gold medalist in his 4-year BTech, and he's a social media networking guru. So welcome, Varshkol. Anything you want to say?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Joban, for such a great introduction. Telling a little about me also, as Joban has already introduced a lot of things, I would like to just brief upon that only. My name is Arsh. I recently graduated from NIT Jalandhar. I'm a 2021 grad. I've joined Samsung recently as a senior software engineer and I have been working there for the past 2 months. Apart from that, I love to network with a lot of people. I have my own YouTube channel that is by the name of Harsh Goel, where I post content related to interview preparation, tech in general. Along with that, I have been active on different platforms like LinkedIn and sharing content with people, mentoring people since last 1 year. So this has been my journey, and I've loved participating in hackathons and being a part of different events that are being conducted. So looking forward to have a great interaction.
Nice. So let's first talk about us, your journey through the college and how you got started into coding and management skills and all that. So if you can briefly tell us about that.
So basically, like talking about my journey, I was there's no background of computer science when I reached my college, so it was very new to me. Even in my first year, there was nothing as such as the C language that we studied. When we came in our third semester and fourth semester, we started up with different things like data structure algorithms and C, C++. We had subjects in college as well, but entire thing we have to prepare on our own. Being from an electronics and communications background, so there are many things that you have to manage both your core studies as well as your coding practice.
Yeah.
So I started with the things in third semester, fourth semester, practice some questions. Then as soon as also along with that, I was a part of different communities. I started one club in my college by the name of Coding Club, and I teach other. Then finally, I was selected as the developers club lead by Google developers. So throughout that, like we conducted different events related to
Wow.
cloud, technology, machine learning, Android. So that gave me a lot of exposure. I even got a chance to visit DSC Summit in Goa. That has been an amazing experience. Then uh, talking about my internships and offers, I got an internship in Samsung. It was third or the fourth company during my internship, and I got selected for an intern at Samsung. Also, I did my intern at Samsung and received the returning offer from them, and love participating in hackathon and have been exploring things. So this was a brief about what I have been doing in hackathon.
Nice, nice. That's really nice, man. As you said, like you were selected at Lowe's and Samsung. So can you just briefly tell us about the hiring process that these companies follows and how can student look into it?
So talking about Lowe's, so Lowe's is it was a pretty new name when I heard it for the first time. So and they were not hiring in the general pattern that usually companies prefer. So they had this challenge known as Lowe's Campus Hackathon. So
Hmm.
it was conducted in the month of March. Like our placement season generally starts from September. So this challenge was conducted in March. I was in my third year. Just try to explore, see how we can come up with something. So we just submitted our idea in the form of presentation and some source code related to that presentation along the team of three. So that got selected in the top teams. We were asked to present our idea somewhere, so we presented that idea, and we could make up to the top 100. So like they gave an
Nice.
opportunity to interview at those to the top 100 people who were participating in that particular hackathon. There was more than the participation was more than 4,000 during that time.
Hmm.
So being the top 100, like they gave us a form which we need to fill that whether we are interested in roles at those. So we filled that form and we were invited for an interview rounds. We were invited for interview rounds. There were three interview rounds, two tech and one HR. So tech rounds were basically like I would say 60 to 70% focus upon data structure algorithms, 10 to 20% focus upon the project that we made for that particular hackathon, and
Yeah.
like maybe you can talk about some. like CS fundamentals also, like some questions based upon OS were also asked. So these were basically the tech rounds. HR round was also like it was a complete. I would say it was stretched for around 45 to 50 minutes, the HR
Oh,
round, and like they asked a lot of questions based on HR also, like a bit about resume and all.
hmm.
So the HR round also went great, and I was offered this role as a software engineer at the very beginning of the placement season. Then
Okay.
talking about Samsung, as I've already mentioned, I got an internship. So
Hmm.
Samsung has a peculiar test of 3 hours in which they just give one question and you need to solve that question with 50 test cases.
Okay.
So during that was a campus program. So when it came to our campus, around 200 students sat for the test, and 16 were able to solve that test with 100 like with 100% test cases passed. That is 50 or 50 test cases. Out of those 16, we were again having two tech and one HR round. In those tech and HR rounds, like Samsung asked about C language also. There's some questions on C, quantum
Okay.
arithmetic, some
Okay.
questions based on OS, and like again 50 to 60% was based on data structure, questions based on each and all. So that was bit about tech rounds. Like, and one tech round was majorly focused on projects also. So yeah, this was the tech round, and HR round was normal discussion. There was nothing much in the HR round, and finally, out of those 16, three people were shortlisted who actually did their internship at Samsung. This was the
Nice.
entire process of those.
Nice. Nice. So yeah, these are some of the great points that you raise, and I think students would definitely benefit from these. So as you said, like you got two offers from like two different type of selection procedures, right? One was based on DSA, purely DSA, and other was based on development hackathons. So what do you think, like, which is more important? Like this debate is like coming from an eternity, like comparative programming versus development. So what are your thoughts on this?
So yeah, the debate has been going on this topic, but I wouldn't go with either DSA or development. I would go with a balance of both DSA
Yeah.
and development. So once you like, what if somebody asked me in the very beginning, like, what should I prefer? Should I go for development or
Hmm.
should I manage DSA? So what I advise to them is like, start with your DSA, do it for 3 4 months until you're confident enough that you
Mhm.
can solve any question. Like you can think of the approach when you see
Right.
a question. So practice basic fundamentals of PSA. Like when you're starting up, this is for when you're starting up.
Yeah.
Practice fundamentals, like all the topics you should cover, and you should be able to solve some like any random question appears. So you should be able to think on an approach. So
Hmm.
that means you should feel that you are a bit confident. You know how to write the syntaxes. You are aware of all the data structures. Once you are done with that, then go for any development, whether it's
Right.
Android, whether it's web, ML, whether anything that you like. And side by side, don't leave your DSA that you have practiced. So
Yeah.
once you are done with 3 to 4 months complete DSA, after that, start with the development. Any topic you can pick, whether it's web or it's up to you. Like
Yeah.
all have equal weightage in interviews. Like it's not like that web projects are given more preference or Android are given more preference. So that's not a thing. And they generally don't expect very great projects or very huge projects from pressure. So that's not going to be a thing. Start with the development and side by side keep practicing maybe 3 to 4 questions a day of DSA, and that's going to actually help. Like once you're confident enough in DSA, then maybe you that the time frame I can't define, like 3 months, four
Yeah.
months, 6 months. That depends on from person to person and
Person to
how he
person.
takes up things. So after once you're done with development, like you have one or two good projects to show on your resume, and your resume is interview ready or interview worthy. So then you can pick up on then you can start up on your CP journey, and if you like it, it should continue ahead with CP. Else, you have good skills of PSC, you have good skills, you have some good projects on your resume. That would be pretty fine for any interview.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Like having a balance is the like right thing to do, and we should focus on both TSA and development.
Yeah.
And we have like curated courses on Prep Bytes in both the directions, development as well as comparative programming. So you students can pick up whatever you like. Yeah, you want to add anything?
Yeah, although I was saying ki it is very necessary for when a person is in first year or is in second year. So
Yeah,
they need to focus upon a lot of things. So like they are generally confused ki should I go with development? So
yeah,
many people start with development, then they don't have interest in DSA, or
yeah,
they are just doing DSA, then they're confused ki I haven't done development. So try making sure that you are balancing both of these things together, because both of them are going to play some part in your interview, some part in
right.
your hiring process at at each level or at every point, right?
Right. Totally agree with that. Okay, so moving on, I know like you have given a lot of interviews, you have seen a lot of resumes from different kind of folks. So what do you think are some of the most common mistakes that students makes in resumes and that they should avoid?
Um, so there can be different perspectives. Like firstly, the first important thing that you might have heard from everywhere is that it is should be single page. So I
Yeah.
totally agree with that because it's very difficult for a recruiter to screen your resume if it's very long. So
Hmm.
generally, the times frame that a recruiter screens your resume is for at least they have this much magnitude of resumes that they just get 7 to 8 seconds on screening one resume. So try making sure that your resume is a single page resume. Avoid writing any like it's not very recommended that you put your photograph or you put your personal details, address or marital status. So avoid these mistakes. Apart from that, try highlighting some things that you have achieved that you want to show that you want to post about. So
Mhm.
make sure that you highlight those things, like which all, like for example, you're explaining about your projects. So you can highlight your tech stacks that you use in those projects. Or if you have done some projects or you've done some internships, so try to quantify your projects or try to bring in those numbers in that project. Like I have worked on so and so project. It has helped us reduce cost by this, and it
Right.
has helped us improve the efficiency in space in terms of time or in terms of space. That like
Mhm.
we should try to maybe focus more upon numbers, so that looks good, that gives a good impact, and it
Right.
actually shows the interviewer ki, "Haan, this person has done something that is different from others." So
Mhm.
that is one point. Apart from that, it is just like your structure of resume should be great. Like don't just like also like now, for example, you're applying for a campus opportunity. So there's something known as ATS, applicant tracking system. So make sure
Okay.
that your resume is ATS friendly. Like
Okay.
there are certain tools, there are certain websites that can help you know about ATS. So try searching about ATS that you will get some more information.
Sure. Okay, so moving on, like on the topic of interviews, what do you think like students should keep in mind during giving some interviews, like in the interview season? What are the things that a student should keep in mind?
Yeah, the hiring patterns have like significantly changed. Like we got a
Yeah.
chance to interview at during when this pandemic was not there, and we just gave face-to-face interviews sitting in front of the interviewer and writing code on a piece of paper. But now everything has turned into a virtual setup, and people have been giving interviews from their home for the past 1 year. And probably this thing is not going to finish very soon. Like you'll have to give your interviews in the coming future also
Yeah.
in this mode only. Just significant things that we should keep in mind. Firstly, maybe make sure that you are well dressed, you are on time, that you are punctual enough to reach your
Hmm.
interview. It's not like that you are making your interviewer wait for 15 minutes. So that gives a bad effect. So this is the first thing that you keep in mind.
Right.
Secondly, make sure that are more confident. Like
Hmm.
that's totally depends upon how much you have prepared for that.
Yeah.
But still, like even if you are not like nobody is fully prepared. There's
Sure.
nothing such
Sure.
no there's no term like I'm fully prepared, I'm fully confident. So
Hmm.
everybody has some areas which are on which he's weak or on which he wants to improve upon. So
Yeah.
make sure that you seem confident, you like try to take hints from the interviewer and
Hmm.
don't panic. So that's something that is the most important thing when you
Hmm.
talk about interviews. Because people just don't fear from the interview, they just fear from the thought of
Yeah.
giving an interview. So
Yeah.
once you are in an interview, try making yourself comfortable because there are
Hmm.
some questions that you just need to answer out of your common sense and that
Yeah.
don't require some theoretical knowledge or something out
Yeah.
of that you're not knowing. So make sure that you're comfortable. One, and make sure you're interacting with the interviewer as much as possible. So
Yeah.
your interaction with the interviewer will show him that yeah, this person is really something like he wants to join our company. He can be a good potential candidate rather than just starting up with a code and writing it on your own. So that wastes a lot of time and that gives a bad impression to the interviewer. So make sure that you follow these particular things while sitting in for a virtual interview.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Like it's a great saying that it's not the interview, but the fear of failing into interview that screws you in the real interview.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Nice. So moving on, like as you said, you are not from the computer science background, and myself, you are also from electronics background, and you still manage to crack such great companies, coding-based companies. And how do you like manage to get a gold medal in your BTech and also crack such good companies like Samsung and Lowe's?
So it is basically about management, how well you
Yeah.
are at managing time, right? So it's not about that being from an electronics background and you have to study electronics for the entire time. It's just
Yeah.
about how you prioritize things during different times of your college phase. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, you have your mid semester or you have your end semesters. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe 10 days before your mid semesters can be devoted completely to what is going to come in your mid semester. So leave everything for those 10 days. Rest of the year is yours. Do
Yeah.
whatever you want to do. And same is the case with like people. They just think uh, they don't have enough time, but you have a
Mm-hmm.
lot of time. So
Yeah.
maybe diverting all your distractions during examinations, like
Mm-hmm.
maybe you are like all your social medias can be cut off for like 5 to 10 days. You're
Mm-hmm.
focusing completely on something that you have to learn as well as memorize, as well as remember and write in your examination sheets. So that's something very important. Like maybe whenever you have your mid semester or end semester, so that 7 days or 10 days, like it depends upon again from an individual to individual. So 7 10 days can be devoted completely to that particular course or that particular midterm examinations. And I guarantee you, if you study those subjects, like you have been studying programming, so
Mm-hmm.
that's considered to be one of the toughest thing when we call upon. So,
Yeah.
but few like these exams or these courses that we're studying, so they are relatively easier. So if you
Yeah.
devote 10 days, so you can get a very great CGPA, and rest of the year is yours. You try doing
Yeah.
anything, development, coding, anything. It's up to you. So basically, managing things, that's something uh,
Yeah.
that will help you maintain the balance between both your core studies as well as your coding or programming.
I also agree with that. Like learning to manage your time in those 4 years is like the most important thing that will help you in your entire life ahead.
Definitely.
Okay. So lastly, I want to ask you, like you are a big social media following on LinkedIn. So how do you think students should network on LinkedIn and ask for referrals or opportunities on LinkedIn?
So, uh, it's a common saying that if you are an average of five friends who are with you
Yeah.
always. It's a very common saying. But
Yeah.
you stay with five people, so your mentality, what you do, what you achieve, so it would be the average of those five people. So
Mm-hmm.
similarly is the case with networking. But like
Mm-hmm.
we're talking about LinkedIn. So now like social gatherings are not there. Like we're not meeting our friends day to day. We're not uh, conducting any event. We're not going to hang out with friends out. So we are composed at our homes, and how we can leverage this time, like there. So for this comes social medias, not saying about all social medias, but LinkedIn can be a very
Yeah.
great platform for student networking, like majorly in who are studying for management roles as well as who are studying for these tech roles. So you get to know about different roles, you get to know about different people, you talk to a lot of people. When I say you talk about LinkedIn 2 years before, like very few people were there on LinkedIn, very
Mm.
few people were putting it in, but now you see the type of content creation that has been there on LinkedIn. Like you get to know a lot of things from a lot of great people who have achieved something in their lives. So following them, following their footsteps, talking to them, that will give you like that will make you aware about things, right? Generally, what happens is we were not aware of things when we were in our college time.
Yeah.
Like when I say there are a lot of opportunities, like I was not aware of different opportunities during my college time. You have programs for from these amazing companies like Microsoft, like Flipkart, like JP Morgan and Chase, even for first year and second year students. Like I didn't have an idea that such things exist.
Mm-hmm.
So, but now people are becoming more and more aware. Companies are also maybe promoting or promoting these programs significantly. So, this is something that students should focus upon, like making themselves aware and following the right path.
Mm.
Next, making your network on LinkedIn, or like even if you're not interested in coding, let's suppose you come across there are different roles like product management, there are different roles like product design. So
Mm.
you can connect with the relevant people because there might not be any senior who is into product design. There might not be any senior who is into product management. So you on LinkedIn you get a lot of people who are into this space and they can help you pave your path, how you can become that particular thing, or how you can ease your path to becoming a good product manager.
Hmm.
So try making sure that you follow your interests, try making sure you follow with people who are people whom you can relate to,
Hmm.
and that is actually the true worth of this platform that we call LinkedIn.
Nice, nice, really nice. So before we end this video, like as the placement season is in full swing, so any last piece of advice for students who are watching this video?
So last piece of advice, I would say, like I do receive a lot of queries from people regarding, sir, I'm doing these things.
Hmm.
Even I'm attempting a lot of questions.
Hmm.
The online tests of companies, I'm solving three
Yeah.
on three questions, but still my name is not shortlisted. So my advice would be, it's not just you're not just losing anything, but you're gaining a lot of experience from those tests. Like that might not be your day. Like even if you've
Hmm.
solved those three questions, yet your name is not shortlisted, but you yourself know that you have solved and you know those things. So
Right.
those skills that are helping you solve those questions are actually going to help you get a good placement, right? So no, if not in this company, there are more companies, there are more opportunities. So don't just get shattered, but make sure that you take it as a learning experience, take it as uh, something that can help you like learn from, like you wrote a code of 100 lines in one particular coding test. So you can think after the coding test like how we can reduce the length of the code that might
Yeah.
help us ease in debugging. That debugging can be eased. For example, a 100-line code is reduced to 30 lines. You can easily debug it, and that is going to save a lot of time in the next coding test. Maybe that company shortlisted off on the basis of time.
Yeah.
So learning experience is something that is very important. So do learn from any rejections that you're facing and don't get disheartened. I know it's very easy to say, but it's very difficult to implement. But that's the actual truth. Make
Yeah.
sure that you uh, understand these things well and try to be in touch with people, try to talk to people. That's actually going to help. And it's not just thinking upon your own and doing things on your own.
Yeah.
Try networking with people, try talking to people, try making sure like peer programming is also something that
Yeah.
can be practiced, or try practicing mock interviews with your friends. So that is actually going to help you in these coming days. And wishing you all the best for your entire placement and internship season.
All right. Yeah. Thanks a lot, Ash, for coming to our channel and sharing your wisdom. Like you are doing a great work for the community. We all guys know how hard you are working to spread the knowledge on the LinkedIn, on YouTube, and all social media platforms. So yeah, thanks a lot for coming to our channel. And
Thank you so much, Jovan, for having me on this channel. And yeah,
so before we close this video, I just want to say a lot more guests will be coming in the coming days. So let me know in the comments what all guests you want to see and what questions you want me to ask to them. Thank you. And that is it for today's. Thanks.